Hey guys, it's Dr. Chris with Texas Chiro Health, back with our 12 Minutes to Health, which we do for you each and every week. So just wanted to take a second and say thank you for joining us each week to find out the latest information about health. You know, it's a big part of what we do in the clinics, and we really like bringing this information to our communities, to our patients, our families, and learning it ourselves and staying on top of what the research is saying about how to live a healthy lifestyle. It gives us a chance, to, I guess, once we get out of school, a lot of doctors and things tend to do less research, and it's kind of counterintuitive because we should be doing more research to stay on top of things. And for us, that's a commitment we've made to our patients, is to go through this research so that we can give you an unbiased approach to healthcare and how to live a healthy lifestyle. And we do a number of these topics, but it always comes down to the three major things that we feel are most important for your health. And that's, what are you eating? What are you putting into your body? How much exercise or movement are you getting throughout a day? And how are you managing your stress? And that looks at everything that's causing stress, how you're managing stress, building that resilience that we always talk about, but mostly just living a healthy lifestyle based on the available research that has come out. So just wanted to say thank you for joining us each and every week, and remind you that, besides just going out into the community to do these talks for you guys and help you understand health, we also do these in our office on a different topic every single Tuesday night at 5:15. And it's a great opportunity, if you haven't been into the clinics, to come in, meet the doctors, get your questions answered, just kind of see what we're all about, and understand how we approach health. And it's also for our patients. If you are a patient, get in there. We have refreshments each week, green smoothies, healthy snacks, things like that. But as I always tell you, the most important part of that is getting to talk with the doctors and get your questions answered, because 12 minutes isn't a long time. It's good information, but there's always more. And if you're there in the clinic on Tuesday nights, it's a huge benefit. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started here. We're looking at an article that was done by Li and Huang, and it's on the anti-obesity effects of conjugated linoleic acid, docosahexaenoic acid, and icosapentaenoic acid. Right? Those are big words, but basically it's CLA, DHA, and EPA. And when you look at those are the fats found. They're polyunsaturated fatty acids, which we'll talk about. Conjugated linoleic acid is actually an omega-6, whereas DHA and EPA are found in omega-3s. And they're also found with DPA, but we'll talk about that. So there's a lot of information when you start dealing with the omega-3s. But before we even dive into that, I want to talk about weight loss, because I've been involved in weight loss from a very young age when it comes to, myself wrestling and always having to make a weight class and understand how to control my body weight and things like that. And I didn't always do it correctly. And that's one of the things that I discovered about weight loss, is that it should be a side effect of living a healthy lifestyle. It can be a goal to lose some weight, but there are a number of ways to lose weight. I did it through college on ramen noodles and pizza, right? I was able to lose weight, but I wasn't the healthiest while doing it. And as I learned more, I put that into my diet, my lifestyle, and I was able to control my weight in a healthy manner. But what I found when I got out of wrestling and haven't stepped on a scale since college, is that my weight, my body composition, more importantly, has actually lowered a little bit when it comes to fat, because I've learned how to live healthy. And one of the byproducts, one of the side effects of living healthy is weight loss, right? You don't find people that are obese and are super healthy. That being said, there are a lot of people who aren't obese, who are, what we would call skinny or thin, who aren't healthy at all either. So if you're living a healthy lifestyle, the side effect could be weight loss. It could be weight gain for some people that are super thin that just aren't living healthy. But what we need to look at is the lifestyle itself. Are we eating enough of the right stuff? Are we putting the right stuff in our body? Are we moving enough to keep our joints the way they should be and keep us living a healthy and congruent lifestyle? And, how are we managing our stress? And all of that stuff plays into weight loss. But this article in particular talks about, just weight loss and omega-3s, polyunsaturated fatty acids, And I will separate omega-3s and 6s for you inside the article here. But I just wanted to make that little disclaimer that, you can lose weight a number of ways. And there's a number of programs that do it. But the recidivism rate on these programs, the people who go back to their normal weight or even heavier after finishing one of these programs, where they absolutely lose a lot of weight, is very high. These people go back at like 90% and above. So it's just, weight loss is one thing, but in my opinion, it should be a side effect of living a healthy lifestyle. So with that being said, let's dig in a little bit here. Here, I like to talk about the good fats, right? I mentioned the 3 fats involved in this, the CLA, DHA, and EPA. DHA and EPA are actually omega-3 fats. They're found in your omega-3 fatty acids, along with another one called DPA. Okay, now DPA is not in all omega-3 fatty acid supplements. And the reason for that is because most of them out there are concentrates. So they actually break these bonds apart. They remove the DPA and combine the DHA and EPA, and they put it back together without the DPA. So it's an incomplete omega-3, which is not good for us. But a lot of us are taking supplements. I say a lot of people are taking supplements that don't have the DPA in their omega-3 fatty acid. And this is just marketing, okay? Because people are familiar with DHA and EPA when I say that. But when I talk about DPA, everyone corrects me and says, "Are you sure you don't mean DHA?" And I say, yes, absolutely. It's a marketing thing. Right? The research has been done on DHA and EPA in the beginning in animal models, and that's where the omega-3 started to gain traction. Well, they forgot to study DPA, and they thought it was less important because they were using concentrates in these studies and different things like that. So if you're on a concentrate, that's not good. You are not getting the benefits of omega-3 fatty acids that you need to as a human being. We need the DPA to be in there. And if that's a little bit confusing, get into the office and come talk to us and bring your supplements with you, because we can actually show you why it's a concentrate, where it was made, why it's not good for you, or maybe it is good for you. I've found a couple. Obviously, we use Innate Choice in our office, and it is the best one that I've found out there. But there's some other good ones out there as well. I mean, Nordic Naturals is one that comes to mind that I've seen that is actually not a concentrate, has the DPA, and is good for you. So those are the good fats, and we'll talk about why that helps you with weight loss here in a second. But I want to talk about the CLA, okay? Because you can go into a supplement store and you can find a shelf of CLA, conjugated linoleic acid supplements, because there was a study in the beginning, and then they did more, but they haven't shown this in human trials. In animal trials, it showed lower weight. It showed weight loss. When they went to human trials, it showed no effect, but it did show an increase in inflammation in the body. And that's because it's an omega-6 fatty acid. Okay, it's found in dairy. It's found in vegetable oils. It's found in meat that is raised conventionally. Instead of being grass-fed, grass-finished meat, you're finding this grain-fed conventional meat is full of CLAs, which are omega-6 fatty acids, which show weight loss in animals, not in humans. But yet, since it showed it in animals, they will use these studies as marketing to get you to buy CLAs for weight loss. And what you're really doing is creating inflammation in your body. And as I always talk about with you guys, inflammation, chronic inflammation, is the root cause of disease. We need to lessen the amount of omega-6s. If you want to check out our video on YouTube, on our YouTube channel or Facebook or wherever about omega-3s versus omega-6s and the ratio, you get a lot of information about why the CLAs are bad for you. So that's one of the things that this study found, is that the CLAs don't really help that much. In fact, they increase inflammation. And if you look at polyunsaturated fatty acids with your vegetable oils, for instance, vegetable oils were all the craze, right? They're gonna make us lose weight and everything else. That's based off of those animal studies, and we didn't realize how much we were causing inflammation in our body. You look at the production and industrial revolution of vegetable oils, and you will watch the cancer curve go directly with it. These things are highly inflammatory and cause a lot of chronic disease. but they're sold as a weight loss product because of animal studies, and it's all because of marketing. These are not good studies, and that's why we do these talks each and every week. So focus on your omega-3 fatty acids, okay? The EPA, the DHA, and yes, the DPA in a complete omega-3 fatty acid. Now, some of the reasons that this works, the omega-3 fatty acids, that's where we'll focus from here on out. The omega-3 fatty acids block key enzymes, right? They inhibit them. They don't block them completely, but they stop them from being released. And what these enzymes do, so basically as we take in the omega-3s, our bodies say, hey, we can use this. This is good. This is lowering inflammation. Get this into the blood, okay? Whereas when we take in bad fats, there's enzymes that come out and it stores fat. It puts that fat into the blood. We get weight gain, which we'll talk about in the next slide, which is just bad for us. It causes a stress on our body. The omega-3s don't, though, because they block these enzymes. So we're not storing fat. We're not using these fats or trying to use them as though they're omega-3 fatty acids. So the omega-6s cause the inflammation, let these enzymes go wild. Omega-3s inhibit these enzymes and actually decrease the inflammation. So that is a big deal when we look at fat and decreasing the amount of obesity in our country. And obesity is a big problem, right? You can see here, we're talking about decreasing fat storage. And that's one of the things that the omega-3s do. They stop the fat from being stored in all these cells. And being obese it's a comorbidity, right? You learned a lot about comorbidities in 2020 when COVID hit, because the people dying had comorbidities. And a vast majority of them were obese. And that's because of inflammation. That's because of the CLAs, the omega-6s, right? The polyunsaturated fatty acids that are omega-6s and not omega-3s. Our culture, our society, our world is very deficient in omega-3 fatty acids. And that's why we see such a huge increase in obesity, especially in the United States. So another thing that the omega-3s do is they stop the bad fats from even being stored. They get processed. Right? Normal fat cells should not hold that much. And when it becomes really damaging is when we create fat around our organs. Okay? The fat around our organs causes all kinds of stress on, we have fatty liver, fatty heart, fatty kidneys. There's fat will store everywhere around there because we're going to break it down and use it for energy later. Omega-3s are readily available, when readily available, are ready to use. They're ready to go. Right now, they're decreasing inflammation. Every single cell in our body uses them. We very rarely, if ever, store them because we use them all the time. And that's why we need to have such a higher ratio. I talk about how it's 20 to 1, 6s to 3s right now in our culture, and it needs to be closer to 1 to 1. And we see in healthier people, the closer to 1 to 1 you are, the healthier you're going to be. And as a side effect, you're going to prevent obesity and lose more weight. Another thing the omega-3s do is increase insulin receptor cell sensitivity. So basically, it's kind of anti-diabetic, right? When you have diabetes, type 1 or type 2, you're insulin resistant. So you're not picking up the glucose, you have too much sugar in your blood, you're storing fat. In that situation, you're turning the glucose that is in your blood isn't getting used correctly. But when you have omega-3s, it actually increases the sensitivity of the insulin. It makes its ability to use and take up the glucose higher and higher and higher. Omega-6s do the opposite. In those studies that they finally did in humans with CLAs, the conjugated linoleic acids that are omega-6s, what they found was that the insulin resistance went up. They became more resistant. It was increasing the diabetic type 2, type 1 processes. And that's not good. That's because it's inflammatory. It's omega-6s. It's all the reasons that I'm always talking to you about that we need to bring omega-3s up. Because as we get closer to that 1-to-1 ratio of 3s to 6s, we're going to be healthier. Side effect, weight loss. Side effect, insulin sensitivity goes up. Those are huge side effects because we're living healthy. Not because our goal was to increase insulin sensitivity. Not because our goal was to lose weight. Our goal was to be healthier. And the side effects that go along with that are the insulin sensitivity going up and the weight coming down and a lot less obesity. So there's a ton of stuff that goes into this, guys. A ton of physiology. The science behind it is crazy when you start looking at all the enzymes involved and everything else. And it's way too much to get into in the 12 minutes to health. The main takeaway, the main thing I want you to get out of this is by living a healthier lifestyle, by getting closer to the 1-to-1 ratio, by increasing your true omega-3s, including DPA, not the concentrated omega-3s, you're going to be healthier, which will result in better insulin sensitivity and will decrease your obesity and increase your weight loss, bring your weight down, making you a healthier individual and lowering your inflammation and cutting down chronic disease. And there are hundreds of studies that go along these lines proving that omega-3s are highly beneficial in reducing inflammation, increasing lifespan, helping the cells, decreasing weight. I mean, it's on and on and on. It is so important that you're taking a good omega-3 fatty acid. And like I said, if you're confused on that, if you have an omega-3 fatty acid and you're like, man, I don't know if this one's good or not, bring it into the office. Like I said, Tuesday nights, 5:15, you are more than welcome. We invite everybody in the community to come in and join us for that. And we also have our offer to come into the office. If omega-3s are just one of the questions on your mind, I also have a little back pain. I have some joint pain. I'm not as healthy as I feel like I should be. That's the reason we do this offer, guys, is because we want as many people as possible to get the answers that they deserve, right? So what we do is a $39 donation from you to our local monthly charity. We'll cover your x-rays, your exam, the consultation. We also use a proprietary health software known as a spinal health assessment that looks at your overall lifestyle and how you're living, how your joints are moving, how you're moving as a person, and what your stress levels are. And we give you a score from 1 to 100, right? And based off of that score, we show you, here's the changes that we can make. Here's what we can do as doctors to help you live a healthier lifestyle and get rid of all these symptoms. And it's all just a $39 donation, guys. And like I said, that goes to our local monthly charity. We do that so that we can donate to our charities, but also we want to remove all the excuses for you. It's time to get healthy. If 2020 did anything for us, I talked about it earlier, it scared us. It made us realize, crap, we're really unhealthy. Well, it's time to change that, and we have some answers for you. So get into the office, get those answers, base it off the research, and let's get you healthy and moving correctly and feeling better. So thank you guys for joining us for the 12 Minutes to Health, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.